might also produce a big moment tonight. Well, Juventus come into this on a 5-game winning streak in Serie A and name an unchanged 11, the same side that began their 2-0 win over Verona. Federico Gatti and Kenan Yildiz had both been pre-match doubts, but are deemed fit enough to start. Turned Cope Miners starts against the club he left in the summer. Randall Kolomuani has gone 6 games without a goal. Atalanta have lost one defender to injury this week, Stefan Posch, but they welcome back the fit again, Isaac Hien. There's one other change to the 11 that began the goalless draw with Venezia. Raul Bellanova comes in for Charles de Ketelara, who moves to the bench. Juan Cuadrado lines up against a club where he spent 7 years, winning 5 Serie A titles. All set to go then. Must win, an overused phrase really in football. But for these two sides, title chances, this is certainly in that ballpark, particularly for Juventus, who are 3 points back on Atalanta. But the likes of Lazio and Bologna in good form, just outside of the top 4, and this is also really significant, Adam, in the race for the Champions League places to the top 4.
Most definitely.
Intercepted by Ederson, whose positioning was excellent, and now Atalanta can look to counter, and they're getting numbers forward. Lookman's made the run to the left, Retegui to the right. This is Ademola Lookman, and this is a chance! And it's a good block by Torres.
And if someone wants to say how Atalanta played, this is it in a nutshell. There's just a couple of loose touches there from
Lookman. Zappacosta to his right, and that's where he goes. Zappacosta!
I can tell he does really well, because you put your arms behind your back, and then all of a sudden, the poor touch.
Kelly. Well, it did open up a bit for him. Fancied a shot, why not?
I've been really areas. You take them in the eye on the ball. That was Thuram's chance earlier. It was a really...
So almost 13 minutes gone in the rain in Turin.
11 goals from headers this season. So it really does show how strong they are.
Well, it's Retegui who's taken the most penalties this season for Atalanta. And it's their centre-forward who's placing this now.
Big pressure now. Massive part of the game where the first goal can be crucial.
Only missed 1 of 4 in the league. Retegui against Di Gregorio. Into the corner from Retegui.
Hits it hard, hits it low, and the weather that has been pouring here just skids in. Just that little bounce in front of him. Just see the little bounce there, and it then just takes it away from...
Chance to make it 2.
Well, he just had so many options. Lookman, when he was going forwards, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Di Gregorio there makes such an important save. But that staying big as Di Gregorio there, because he's gone through a body of players, takes a little deflection.
Saw it late, didn't he?
Yeah, and it's that bounce in front. It's such an awkward one for goalkeepers. That bounce in front of him. It's a really good save. And then what you need...
Maybe even still the Scudetto for these two teams. We're going to see a change of pace before the second half gets underway. Cope Miners, the former Atalanta player, ready to come on. And Brescianini is also going to be introduced, just waiting for confirmation from the 4th official as to the players who are being withdrawn here. But this is really significant for Cope Miners. He'll be keen to do well against his former club, a move that was so expensive from a Juventus perspective. It hasn't quite yet paid off, Adam, certainly in terms of goals and assists anyway.
Yeah, not quite yet. I think sometimes when you look at style of manager. I think when you look at Allegri, I think Vlahovic got a lot of criticism for the numbers that he got, but maybe the style of play hasn't suited goal-scoring midfielders. Koeman, we've seen him do this in the Atalanta shirt, so he'll certainly be aware of that. But again, it's just that kind of frustration there for him, because he has got it about him to be a goal-scoring midfielder.
Yeah, just a couple of goals so far for Koeman in Serie A. And Quadrado makes way for Brescianini, signed from Frosinone over the summer. So on comes Koeman for Yildiz. He was quiet in that first half, but I think he's had a difficult week with illness, hasn't he? I was surprised that he started the game, actually.
So it was one of those ones that was very much under the radar, that he was certainly struggling alongside Gatti to be in that starting 11. I think Gatti was maybe slightly more ahead of him, but as you mentioned, he's been struggling and cannot keep making save after save after save. And it does come from a poor pass from Kelly, but it's a brilliant ball here from Edison into Lookman early on, and then you get yourself into those one-on-one situations. The parry there, Kelly with the block, and Daron in the right place at the right time. Frustrating start to the second half, but you have to say they've deserved a second goal, Gasparini's side, and they've found that now.
Well, you have to feel for Di Gregorio, who pulled off 3 big saves right at the end of the half and tried his best there too, but the players in front of him have got a lot to answer for. A question from Cesare Prandelli ahead of this, somebody who coached Vlahovic, Adam, at Fiorentina. He said, look, I'd always play Vlahovic, and he says, I don't see any...
Drop their standards.
So, 3 changes then. Gonzalez, who's been way off his best tonight, Weah and Gatti. Gatti is a player who's struggling to be fit for this tonight, so perhaps no surprise he comes off. Kalulu comes on. Verona, the win over Verona was his first appearance since the 29th of January. He's been out for a little while with a thigh injury. So Mbangula, Alberto Costa and Kalulu come on. It's only Alberto Costa's second Serie A appearance, made his league debut as a sub in that win over Verona.
Atalanta, every time they go forward, they've got energy, they've got purpose. Another important challenge there from Kalulu, but so the next goal will be crucial. And they have been first through. Just look at the energy levels there. Kolasinac there, back kills it perfectly, and Zappacosta just cannot believe his luck.
How good's this back heel, by the way, Adam?
It's amazing, isn't it? Clinical, brilliant. The awareness there is superb. And then just to tidily finish it through Kelly's legs into that corner.
They're enjoying themselves, Atalanta. Antonio Pac literally emptying in front of our eyes.
Amazing, isn't it?
Tell you all you need to know about the Juve supporters' feelings about their side's performance. Retegui it was who opened the scoring from the spot after a handball from McKennie in the first half. Zappacosta, one of the scorers for Atalanta in the second. Daron, another. Ademola Lookman got the 4th. Exceptional from Atalanta. And they are right in this title race. And surely now it's a 3-team title race. If there was any faint hope that Juve could win the Scudetto, surely that is now over. But what a battle it's going to be between Inter, Napoli and Atalanta. Atalanta surely rejuvenated, emboldened by what they've done tonight. Full-time in Turin, Juve 0, Atalanta 4. Let's have a look at the table.